What is going on, guys? My name is AK back again with another YouTube video. Now in today's video what we've got a 6v6 face-off gameplay. Now I did one of these just a couple of weeks ago and you guys seem to really like it, so I thought we had a really good gameplay that I recorded of this last night. Unfortunately won't have live com because again I was just playing it late at night, wasn't really in the mood to actually do a commentary while playing it, but I think we smashed our previous kill record of 75. We actually managed to get 78 this game. Don't know if that's a world record. I don't know anyone that's got any higher. I don't know. If you have, let me know. ICBM is definitely the best map for getting the sort of the most amount of kills that you can in the actual match, and kill confirmed and domination are both really good for that. But what I wanted to talk about in today's video was the leaks. So if you guys have seen Salvation Elite's most recent video, he talked about the leaks for COD Vanguard or COD 2021 and all the things that have been sort of leaked and the ideas that people have about that game so far. So what I thought I'd do in today's video is talk about them, discuss what I like, what I don't like, and sort of give my opinions on the matter. Of course, if you haven't checked out his video explaining all of the leaks themselves, go check that out first, or maybe after this video, whenever you want to do that. But yeah, definitely go check it out. Very good video. So starting off, first and foremost, the main thing about the game is that it's a World War II themed game, although he does say it's very different to COD World War II, you know, Sledgehammer's previous World War II title. So I think I'm not too sad about that. I do, in general, prefer more futuristic CODs, like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 4, any game that's set in the future, I do generally prefer them, but COD World War II was quite good, so I think if Sledgehammer provides something a little bit similar to that, then I definitely won't be disappointed. That being said, in terms of game engine, it's actually running on the Modern Warfare 2019 game engine, which means we're going to be getting movement and gunplay very similar to Modern Warfare, which I'm not too happy about, especially with things like tac sprint and the slide cancelling that have been included. I mean, slide cancelling I don't mind, that's something we do quite a bit in Cold War anyway, but the tac sprint, you know, the one where you put your gun up and you're running really fast, that then having the setting of like auto tac sprint and stuff like that, I think that could potentially get quite messy, so I'm not really too sure how I feel about that one, but of course we have to wait and play it out and see how it feels in the game. They have said that in terms of graphics, it's going to be looking a lot more like Cold War compared to Modern Warfare, which is something that I'm quite happy about. Of course, I prefer the really high visibility games, you know, like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2. But if you look at Modern Warfare, some of those maps, it was very hard to see people because they had very sort of dark green, black, like very dark colour schemes. So to be able to pick out players is sometimes quite hard. I think Cold War did it a little bit better. The contrast is a little bit higher, and generally just the map is a little bit more colourful and bright. So normally you don't have visibility issues as much as we did on Modern Warfare. So the fact that the graphics and the UI is a bit more like Cold War, that isn't too much of a problem for me. Now we did also mention some of the weapons that we're going to get returned, and the bar and the STG are ones that have been mentioned, as well as like the Tommy gun on the SMG side of things. Now, if you saw my weapon tier list video, I'll throw a card up in the corner if you want to go check that out. But the bar did actually place very high on my list of weapons that I really enjoyed. So if they bring it back and it's something similar to that, in fact I even think I mentioned it in the video, if they bring back something like that, that would definitely make me very happy. I love the bar. The STG on the other hand was really not one of my favourite guns. I didn't enjoy using that. I don't really like AK-47 style weapons. Every COD game has one. The STG was that of World War II and wasn't too much of a fan, but again, if it's remastered, reskinned, you know, make it look a little bit different, maybe I will like it this year, who knows. So the next thing they mentioned was the Gunsmith. You know, we've seen this in the past two CODs. This is where, rather than having 15, 20 attachments on a weapon, you have 60, you've got about 20 different scopes, 5 different stocks. You know how the Gunsmith is in Cold War and Modern Warfare, and apparently we're getting that returning again, which I'm not too much of a fan of. I like the idea that you can have potentially a lot of customization to your weapons. So some people run this stock, some people run this barrel, but I think Modern Warfare had more variation than Cold War did. Because in Modern Warfare, if you think the M4, there was the sort of the close range sort of rushing M4, and then the more sit back, throw a red dot sight on it M4 that was a little bit slower, and they had different barrels, different grips, things like that. So that had a little bit of variation, although in Cold War, really there isn't very much variation going on. So despite having 55 attachments to choose from, everybody that plays the Krig is running near enough the same class, give or take a scope. So if there is a system that actually does allow good variation, allows sort of different guns to be utilised in different ways based on what attachments you're running on them, I think I'm not going to be too sad about that. But if it's very similar to Cold War, where there is a set of attachments that are the best and nothing else really works too well, then I don't really see the point in the Gunsmith. And I think the old sort of before Modern Warfare system of just having a stock, a grip, a quick draw works a little bit better. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Now, sticking on the theme of classes, I think we're also going to be seeing a stun and a nade on every class, like we see in Cold War, where you get to choose a tactical and a lethal. I mean, that's pretty much going to be flashbang semtexes. That's normally what's picked in Call of Duty. So, again, I'm not too sad about that. It does make trophy systems very important, which actually, according to the video, we haven't heard anything about yet, how they're actually going to be used in the game, whether they are going to be a tactical. They have been in the past CODs before, like in Black Ops 2, a trophy system was a tactical. But we do see the return of the field upgrades, you know, like trophy systems actually in Cold War and the assault packs, things like that. So they're coming back. So potentially we could be seeing the trophy system as a field upgrade, which again, it sort of works okay in Cold War. So not too sad if we do actually see that. Now, the main thing that hasn't been mentioned is Dead Silence. There's been no mention of how Dead Silence might actually feature in this game. Of course, it could come in as a field upgrade, like we saw it in Modern Warfare, but that really wasn't the best. Only having Dead Silence for maybe 10-15 seconds and then having to wait for it to recharge the whole time, especially in things like Search and Destroy, that is really annoying. And ideally you want Dead Silence as a perk so that you can have it throughout the whole game and across all game modes, because of course if you're then having to sacrifice trophy systems to use Dead Silence, then you start getting into the balance of, oh, what do I use, what is the most effective thing that I can, like the most effective loadout I can build in this game. And that's not really something that you want in competitive play. You want Dead Silence to be a perk like it is in Cold War. Hopefully they carry it through. But yeah, we haven't had any mention of Dead Silence, so let's just hope that we do see it in as a perk and not as a field upgrade. But that is about it for the leaks that were actually included in the video. Now, I just want to give my opinion quickly on the game. I think it's going to be quite good. It's going to be nice and fast-paced, which is what I like to see in games. I do enjoy the more fast-paced Call of Duty games, you know, sort of keeps you engaged. But all that I'm really hoping for is a game that is just fun to play. If I can sit and play pubs for 4, 5, 6 hours in a row, then the game is good. If the game is like Cold War, where after a few hours of pubs I'm getting a little bit bored, and even Modern Warfare, a few games of pubs I'm getting bored, then maybe not so much. But all I hope is that they just bring a game that is fun, because a game that's fun to play is a game that's going to be fun to compete in. But let me know what you guys want and your thoughts on the leaks down below. As I said, go check out Salvation's Elite video if you haven't already. But that's about it for today's video. Really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to drop a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.